You know, it's been a while since I played a FNAF fan game, and the last one I played did relatively well, but there's also the law of FNAF fan games. The more painful they are to play, the more people enjoy watching a video about them. So which do I pick? You? Nah, too dumb. Not too bad, but you're for next time maybe. Hell no. Ooh, what about you? Yep, today we are looking at Five Nights at Freddy's Simulator Origins. Yeah, not FNAF Simulator, this really eerie looking first person FNAF fan game. No. We're looking at this 2D fan game of FNAF Simulator. A fan game of a fan game. Fanception? Whatever. This is by a, I think, Russian developer who goes by the Drain Developer on both GameJolt and itch.io. When opening the game, it says it was developed by Genos Gaming. According to the itch.io page, it was released in November of 2020, and this is not the developer's first game, but kind of their middle one. If you go by their GameJolt page, they've released other games that are very similar style to this one as well, which I will not be looking at today. So, what is this game? Well, FNAF Simulator Origins, or FNAF SO is what I'll be using for short, is a game where you play a top-down 2D style as the animatronics. Normally your goal is to kill the Night Guard. I say normally because this sometimes changes. Before I go into the core mechanics of the game, I want to tell you how we're going to cover this game. First, we're going to look at some of the consistencies, or what few there are in this game. Then I will go category by category and describe the animatronics, their specific mechanics, and how good I think they are. Trust me, this will make more sense as we go along. The game starts with this opening cinematic when you first boot it up, where you're the purple guy and go into the back room. Basic FNAF stuff. Then you get this FNAF Pizzeria Simulator inspired animation thing. So, after the basic tutorial, now we're at the menu. There's options of credits, music, shop, team, animatronics editor, roulette, that's a fun one, multiplayer options, play, stats, and my favorite, quit. There's also this little trophy guy to the side. Credits, options, stats, and quit should be obvious, so I'll just quickly mention the others. Music allows you to change or mute the music of the game. Can't change that setting in options though. Yeah, it's really weird. You can also buy more music tracks to listen to and play in the background. The base song is also non-copyrighted. It's the One Night at Flumpty's main theme. Some good electro swing, if I might say. You can also buy a ton of other tracks. Most of them are not copyrighted and definitely not allowed to be in this game, but a lot of them are non-copyright, so if you happen to enjoy this game and like streaming it, I mean, it's an option, I guess. But you have to buy all the other tracks with gold coins. You'll learn why that's a pain in the ass in a bit. The shop allows you to buy balloons that can give you gray coins by paying blue coins for balloons. Okay, let's address the coins situation then. There are 3 types of coins, or Faz tokens as they're called. Gray, gold, and blue. It's possible to get these coins via gameplay or roulette to spend on things like characters, music tracks, balloons, or the animatronics editor. Gray coins were pretty much solely for buying animatronics, spare a few unique ones. The gold coins were used mostly for music or some of the other animatronics, that only can be bought by gold coins. The gray coins can also be turned into gold coins and vice versa at a value of 20 gray tokens to 1 gold token. Blue tokens were specifically used for gambling, balloons, and unlocking the animatronic editor. And one specific animatronic. We'll get to him later. I didn't check out the multiplayer function for this video, but that might be a future stream. Anyway, the animatronic editor can be unlocked with 15 blue tokens, and you can make pretty much whatever you want. I made a weed animatronic. Anyway, roulette should be obvious, but it's unironically one of the best features in the menu, because with just 5 blue tokens, you can get up to 10 gold tokens, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that can really fast track progress when it comes to grinding for all the animatronics. Now onto the core features of the game. These features aren't really guaranteed, just true for a majority of characters with some exceptions. In most maps there's a timer that shows you what time it is. You have up until 6 AM to kill the guard, or whoever the objective needs you to kill. Which, I just want to say, this clock is really random. It shows the hour and then what you would assume are the minutes, but it goes up to like 200 something and is really dumb. Like when it hits .60, it doesn't go up by 1 AM. It's stupid. Almost every character has an ability of some kind to get to the guard. For most of the maps, there is a camera system where it will either be active or inactive. Most animatronics can only move when the camera is not active. Again, not a rule, just a majority. When the camera is active, some barrier pops up that makes it so you can't walk. Next is the noise awareness system. This system is mostly two parts, noise and awareness. Most have both, some will only have one. Awareness goes up when noise goes up, and noise will go up usually when the player moves or when they do an action. Most of the time, you can't kill the guard or get through the door if your awareness is up. Noise will go down gradually so long as you don't move. Awareness only goes down when your noise is low or completely gone. Unless you have a power-up. Now, is that it? Yeah, it should be it for most of the core mechanics. So, let's start with the play menu. Finally. The play menu has all of these categories. Some of the main FNAF games, random, custom character, and a bunch of FNAF fan games, hoaxes, and special. Let's start with the classics. FNAF 1 has the core 4 along with Golden Freddy and Endo 1. Freddy is the first animatronic you get with a decent speed and a power-up that once charged lowers the guard's power meter by 5%. He also has some alternate skins. Some characters have alternate skins you can buy, but they don't really change gameplay. Freddy has Shamrock Freddy and Headless Freddy, kinda neat, but no new mechanics. I also will sometimes forget some of the skins. Most of them aren't really important, and some of them are barely different, so some just won't be mentioned. Another feature that I'll mention now that I won't point out too much is that pressing F2 in some maps enables a 2-player mode. It's not split screen though, and not particularly good, but it's okay. The next character is Bonnie. He's similar to Freddy, but his power-up is that he can play a tune that lowers his awareness. And if you play it and not move, he'll just keep playing the tune. Comment down below if you know this song. Fools, they don't even know I'm trying to get them to comment, so it drives engagement and makes the video more recommended. Huh? Anyway, his reskin is Blackheart Bonnie. Kinda neat design, but no change. Chica's the next one, and I'll mention it here. Anytime you need to change screens, you get this loading screen, and besides the developer thinking no one will ever play their game, they also say, never buy a Chica, since they're awful. And they are. This Chica's only power, and pretty much all of their only powers, is that when you use their ability, it just plays this soundbite.
Pizza? 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 Pizza?
Yay, unfunny dead jokes from 2015 are still alive. Her reskin's kinda cool, but just scorched. The next one is Foxy, who has a really annoying mechanic, which will be a common theme throughout this game. You need to charge his bomb power and wait for his noise meter to die down to then barrel through the door to hit the guard. But the door has to be down, and he can be stunned in place by the camera, making you just lose sometimes. Yeah, so they made Foxy a terrorist, and it's not even fun. Don't worry, this only happens like 100 more times. I like his reskin. Very different, but not too special. The next is Golden Freddy, which if you tuned to watch some of the first streams on this channel where I played this game, you will know he has some of the most exhilarating gameplay throughout the entire game. So, you can't move, and need to wait for your power to charge, and then a random teleport chance, and rinse and repeat. You need to then get lucky enough to teleport into range of this blue box to kill the guard. Pressing X when you finally enter the zone, it just shows Golden Freddy's face and takes forever to disappear. The last of the first set of animatronics is Endo 1. He moves a little bit slower but has multiple power-ups. He has the power draining of Freddy, the music of Bonnie, and the belligerent yelling of Chica. But, meh, he's alright. Before we move on to our next category, let's look at this set as a whole. I really like the designs of the characters, and even their alternate skins. They fit a nice, consistent style in my opinion. I really like the design of this map too. I love the different areas like the kitchen and the back room with Springtrap. I think the office looks really nice too. And get used to it, because this map is used for quite a few other different categories. After every look at the animatronics, I want to see the map and check out the category as a whole. Solid, but not the best, and it's quite a nice introductory section. It's also not the most fun or exciting, but it is a decently designed spot. My one large gripe is that any time you lose a life, aka hit the door, the screen goes this annoying static, you move slower, it plays an ear-splitting white noise, it's just awful. Next, category. The FNAF 2 category obviously has more characters, but they're kind of more bland to be honest. There are more power-ups, but eh. But introducing our first FNAF 2 character, I have to mention their boot up screens. Almost every animatronic has their own introduction screen. FNAF 1 has all these old Windows boot up menus, while the toy animatronics have these sleek high-tech loading ones. I won't mention all the different ones when they come up, but they might show up. Toy Bonnie has no power-up per se, but he doesn't really freeze up on the cameras. You need to go up to the guard and scan him to jump scare him. His loud steel footsteps are really annoying though. Same with Toy Chica's who's next. Her power-up just chucks the cupcake at the guard to jump scare him. Yeah. Toy Freddy has the speed up power-up now, but with how initially slow he is and how fast the camera turns on to stun him and how that just kind of destroys your power-up, I don't think it's worth it or that fun. Old Bonnie is next on our list, and his power-up just turns him invisible, and you can move faster without having to worry if the camera's freezing you. Old Freddy's power is the same as the electricity draining ability from before, which is really weird because besides Chica having the awful voice line again, those two are the only two who have the same power-ups from their previous game. Old Foxy's ability basically just summons Balloon Boy. You can then use him to jump scare the guard so he can't just push Foxy back with a flashlight, which works 50-50. Shadow Freddy is similar to Golden Freddy, but with worse RNG because FNAF 2 is a much bigger map. Endo 2 is similar to Endo 1, but he doesn't say pizza, and he has the electric draining power along with the invisibility power, so actually pretty good. Last on our list for FNAF 2 is Mangle. It's alright. Mangle has one of the wider hitboxes and moves so slow, and I'm pretty sure they don't get sent back based on the flashlight, but there's no power-up with Mangle. And for some reason, Mangle's too big to fit in the vent routes, which doesn't make sense. The vents in this map are kind of a good route to avoid the light, and are more useful here than on most other maps. I really like the general design and all these random spots and objects like the carousel and the party rooms leading up to the security office. I think it's all a nice map overall, but could be more optimized for the characters, specifically Mangle. I like the designs of most of the animatronics too, they're faithful and fine. Next we have FNAF 3, one of the smallest categories to look at. There's only Springtrap to buy in this section, but there are technically 2 characters. This map also has a special mechanic. When spawning a Springtrap, the guard can actually play a sound cue to teleport you to different spots in the map. And the red fog over the map makes a lot of areas hard to see, which is super disappointing because I actually really like the design of this map. It's the nicest map so far in my opinion. Well, design-wise. Looks-wise, it's very accurate to FNAF 3. But Springtrap's power summons Phantom Freddy, which you can control to attack the guard. Attacking the guard with Phantom Freddy turns off the system so that the guard can't shoo you around. Using the vents is a really good and quick strategy for this map, and the Phantom recharge is really quick. Really nice. This is one of the more fun characters compared to many of the others, so I'll take what I can get. FNAF 4. More content, more features, and more pain. Starting with Nightmare Bonnie, his power just reverses time a little bit. Also, walking into the house, because for some reason you spawn outside, which will be relevant later. There's also this random note on the floor that you can pick up, and it just phases between 2 notes, and is pretty much illegible. In this one, you have to kill Cassidy, but the core mechanics are pretty much the same. Next is Nightmare Chica. Guess what her ability is? You get 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. Nightmare Freddy has the ability to summon this little Freddle guy to attack the kid. Very similar to the normal game. No Nightmare Foxy though, a very odd choice in my opinion. The next character is far more infuriating, and I just cannot figure out how he works or even if it's possible. Plushtrap. Plushtrap works on this timer mechanic, and he is constantly sent back to the chair with little ability to actually move forward in any productive way. I hate this character. Hard to say if he's my least favorite character, but him and his reskin easily make it into my 3 most hated. Nightmare Fredbear is the next on our list and has this unique stylized skin. I mean, Nightmare Bonnie had one too, but his is boring. Anyway, Nightmare Fredbear's power is that he just goes back and forth constantly with some really paranoid dance moves. Nightmare himself acts more like Endo in that he has multiple power-ups. Nightmare has a teleport, time freeze, and invisibility ability. He's also important for his secret ending thing. Yeah, I don't know, but I'll show more of that story stuff later. Our last one is actually really interesting, but I don't like it. Choosing Cassidy Afton changes the whole game, which breaks the theme, but in a unique way, I guess. You're basically playing 2D FNAF 4. I think you don't have to worry about Nightmare Foxy though, so not that bad. But I also sucked at this style game, and I'm not sitting through this version of it to show it in this video. Nothing special happens when you complete it anyway. Which is honestly pretty disappointing. I really like the FNAF 4 map though. It's not too groundbreaking or anything, but I like that we can find the original diner and their Circus Baby's pizza thing. I really like this area. You can also get hit by a car. I mean, it doesn't kill you, but it's funny. It's kinda neat, but definitely not as good as the others. Now, I would like to mention the ending thing I said before. When choosing Nightmare, you can go past the house and into the old diner. You can go to the old back room and then turn into a white spirit in the party room. According to this video I found by Dark Taurus, if you touch the cat animatronic from Five Nights at Candy's, the game just crashes. But going to the table with the cake and other spirit friend around it, you can all peacefully move on together, leaving the masks that tether you to this realm. And then Sans just kind of appears. Well, not appears, but the lines are written in Comic Sans box style of Undertale, and it plays his sound effect when talking. Then when he's done, you get this really eerie image of Mangle on the screen, and it kind of threatens you with creepy music and asks if you want to have your save file erased. Considering how absolutely BS this game is, I refuse to try this, and I'm just using this footage because this game took genuine months to grind to near 100%. There's a reason I say near 100% too. Next, we got Sister Location. Starting with Funtime Freddy, he kinda sucks. He has these two other skins too, but they're boring. You can't even go up to the Night Guard to kill him, so it's better to just literally not move until your power is charged. That power just summons Bonbon, who's much faster and generates noise and awareness much slower. You then control Bonbon and can kill the guard as Bonbon. Funtime Foxy has two extra skins. One has more detail and one just turns you into a little bit. But regardless, it sucks. It's the same damn bomb mechanic with a more finicky jank. Now we have Ennard, who has the coolest but dumbest ability. So let me ask you how cool this sounds. Ennard can turn into almost any object on this map that he can stand in front of, like buckets or even the security door itself. Now the problem is that it isn't very practical and screws up your hitbox. It had so much potential, but there's just nothing. It just sucks. It doesn't even lower your awareness or noise or anything. Anyway, I'm skipping to the next character until the end of this segment. So next we have Baby. She just has the same power drain thing as Freddy. Nothing really interesting. Laura's super slow and has nothing really unique with her, so it's just frustrating. I mean, she could have had the singing to lower awareness with how slowly her noise drains, but whatever. Our second to last character is Yendo, an actually interesting looking animatronic that's slow and has a random teleport power, which in this small ass map just got me stuck 90% of the time in the walls. Now last, but certainly not least, is 8-Bit Baby / William. This is another story segment that I don't think counts as an ending. In this one, you can start out as 8-Bit Baby playing through her minigame until you get to the girl and give her ice cream. Then you just scoop her. Next, we see William Afton grieving over the fact that his daughter died from his own creation, and says to hell with it all. After leaving Circus Baby's Pizza World, he goes home to see a Fazbear Entertainment commercial and mocks it. Then he says there will be nothing to worry about. He hatches a plan to utilize his favorite costume to kill a bunch of the visitors there. William puts on the costume while thinking about all that he has lost and walks into the pizzeria. After killing all the kids, he returns at night and is cornered by many of the spirits of the kids he just killed. Going into a springlock suit, we hear the audio of him laughing, then the crunch of the spring locks into him. After that, it cuts to black and we get this little chat interlude from the Sans text until we get back to Springtrap. Or the costume with William in it stuck on the floor. Then the spirits start talking about William being dead and assumedly ascend to heaven. I mean, this section wasn't the worst, still wasn't good. The characters were disappointing and could have been executed better, and this map was super boring. The 8-Bit Baby and William thing doesn't really save it for me, because this is janky enough on its own. This section could have been much better, and in this part specifically, I think there was a lot of missed potential. Now, the next part may seem confusing, but we're looking at the Christmas segment. Yes, it's confusing, but that's how it's ordered in the menu. First, we have Frostbear. Frostbear is a Freddy reskin that has ice physics and this really weird ramp-up acceleration. His power-up is also not electricity draining. It's being able to freeze time and move forward through that spot, and be able to avoid having the door shut on you sometimes. Frostbear, when he moves, is super slow, but he can ramp up pretty fast when he isn't frozen in place by the camera. Next, we have Black Ice Frostbear. He is much faster than Frostbear, but his ability loads much slower. The ability is pretty much the same. Black Ice Frostbear is just much faster. The last member of this Christmas category crew is Cookie Bonnie. Kinda. Cookie Bonnie has a really neat design, and his power literally just summons a giant cookie that can pretty much destroy the door to the security office. The last member, at least listed in the team category that shows all the animatronics, says that Arctic Ballora should exist. It does not, unfortunately, which is pretty disappointing. Sounds like it could have been really cool, or an utter disappointment. The map is just reused from FNAF 1 and has some small Christmas additions like a little tree and some snow. I really like this category. It's a neat little Christmas surprise, quite fun and no real annoying BS. I think they could have had more unique maps or more Christmas characters, but it's a really cool category, short and sweet, one of my favorites so far. The next category, however, is not so good. Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria Simulator. This segment is annoying as all hell. Okay, let's go through these. First, we got Lefty. As Lefty, you are super slow and your ability takes forever to charge up, and that's not to mention how stupid this map is. Lefty's ability makes it so that the puppet comes out and you can control the puppet and float through the walls to get the guard. This power-up is a must for Lefty, and you just can't do anything. And I say that for a reason. This is one of the exceptions I mentioned earlier. This map does not have clocks to 6 AM or a camera system. In this one, there are 2 meters, when the computer is on and when the computer is working. A percentage takes up where the clock normally is. Once that hits 100% work completed, it's over. So, what's so bad about this? Well, the characters get teleported around constantly. Like, a lot. And it's annoying because sometimes you just can't move or have any fun because you get stuck in walls. This is most prevalent with Scrap Baby, but we'll get to her. Anyway, yeah, you get constantly teleported around the different vents in this little interlocking system, and you have to quickly get to the guard. And it's such a tight-knit space that, again, you constantly get stuck in the walls. And this isn't just this map, this is a constant problem throughout the game with teleporting characters. Next is Scrap Trap. Scrap Trap is actually a really fast character by default, but you still get teleported and slowed down constantly, so it's annoying. Yet, somehow not the worst character, even with no ability. In fact, next is arguably one of the best characters, Molten Freddy. He's the one I have won the most of these games with. He's speedy like Scrap Trap, but he's great. Scrap Baby is arguably the worst in this situation, however. I can't even tell what her power-up is because she gets stopped and stuck so often, and her hitbox gets stuck in the walls constantly. Every time I've triggered the power-up, I have noticed no difference in anything. The map itself is just not fun. The mechanics, the characters, and the boring and annoying design of the events. Not fun. Now granted, it's accurate, but not fun. So it's got some accuracy points, but I think that a way to fix this game would be to make sure the teleport system doesn't constantly break and that these vents were a bit wider. I just think that that would be a better fit for players if they wanted to play. Now we have the most characters yet. UCN. Don't worry, there's only like 20. The first on our list is the vacuum cleaner from Trash in the Gang. He doesn't have a power-up, but his goal is to kill Toy Freddy, not the night guard. This is also a unique map section. Pretty thin, but looks nice and is very simple. It's also the only time this map is used in the game. Our next friend is Freddy Fazbear himself. This one is actually different. Well, okay, not literally, it's the same sprite, but a new power-up. We're also in a unique UCN map that I'll gush about in a bit. Our power-up now summons the entire Trash in the Gang to distract the guard for you to kill him. Next is Foxy, who is super unique. I really like his mechanic. He works just like in UCN. You need to throw all of Foxy's parts into the office to properly jump scare the guard. His power-up is the same as Freddy right before. Next is Toy Freddy, who isn't really interesting but is unique. His starts with a little animation of the vacuum cleaner killing him, and then he gets mad so he goes to attack the guard. He has no superpower, but he doesn't get frozen by the camera, so I guess he's alright. Next is Withered Golden Freddy. I'm not entirely sure how he works, but you start out super slow when you spawn. Then you can find the spirits and you start going faster. You also have a teleport ability on top of being able to move normally, and when I teleported, I must have gotten into the guard's kill box. Toy Bonnie pretty much works the same way as FNAF 2, but he walks a bit faster and can summon Balloon Boy to distract the guard. I also don't know why, but Toy Chica keeps getting stuck whenever I spawn as her. Like, I just cannot get out of the vent system or kitchen. I just get stuck and it sucks. F tier, broken. I think I got out of the kitchen like once and never again. It's just so finicky, I don't like it. We'll be seeing more of those soon. Old Bonnie can actually get to the office pretty easily since you just break down the doors with your power-up. But the problem is that you can get sent back to the start so easily as Old Bonnie for some reason. I don't know why. Withered Chica's power just... I can't explain it. Just look at this.
Where's the pizza?
When people are like targeting people specifically who are...
Yeah, that just happened. Afton works the same as he did in FNAF 3, just less of the stupid teleporting around. So, yeah, he's decently fun in this one. Nightmare Mangle is the next one on our list. Nightmare Mangle's design is super cool. The hitbox is just super weird. But the design looks amazing. I just don't understand its power. It's a reverse symbol, but it doesn't reverse time or anything. I think it makes you faster, but I just can't tell. Now we have Nightmare Bonnie. Decent speed and a neat power-up. He does the whole summoning a distraction thing, but it's Nightmarion instead, and looks cool. Now we have Nightmare Fredbear. He has the same dumb power from FNAF 4. Next. Nightmare has a similar power from the last time with the time freeze thing, but that's it. Kind of annoying for these last two, but they're manageable. The next one is really weird though. So Baby has another distraction power, whoop-de-doo. So you summon Nightmarion. But then Funtime Foxy comes out of nowhere and just kills the guard. Ballora, again, doesn't have a power-up, which is fine. I think you can phase through the cameras while they're active, but regardless, annoying. Especially when your awareness goes up so fast, just super annoying. The next one is arguably more annoying. Rockstar Chica has a cool design, but god is she just a bad character. She only has the ability where she says pizza, and if she hits a wet floor sign, then you just instantly lose. Like, not even a second chance death, just lose immediately. Next we have Fredbear. Do not use Fredbear's ability. It's another teleport gimmick, and every time I use it, I just got stuck in a wall. And it's annoying. But at least you can move. One small side note, he doesn't have a price, so you just kind of have to guess whenever you have enough money to buy him. I think I bought him around like 700 coins, but it only drained like 150 of them. It was weird, but it wouldn't buy at 500. I think I tried this on stream. It's frustrating. Some of the characters are like this in it, like Nightmare Mangle. It only drained about 100 of my coins, but I couldn't buy it until I had over 1,000. It's weird. Now we have Lefty. Lefty has a power-up similar to Freddy where he drains the power, but instead of 5%, it's about 20. One thing I hate though is that he has this horrible static rolling effect on the screen. I just don't like it. It was kinda okay during FNAF 4, but this one, no fun. Next one is a bit better. It's Molten Freddy, where he has a sprint ability and he can just move through the vents. Great. A good note to end it off for now. So now I can gush about the map. I love the map for UCN. There is so much character in this map, and I really like the design of all the spots in this map. There's a bunch of animatronics that are just laying around the map, and I really love it. My favorite map in the whole game. The next character on our list is the Help Wanted category, where he stands alone. Glitchtrap. He is arguably the coolest character from the original setup. His main power, that is his only consistency, is that he can transfer from game to game, taking up different animatronics power-ups and actually resetting the time every time he transfers maps. Two things about this that I thought it would be really cool for exploring maps, like FNAF 3, which had this horrible haze effect. Unfortunately, traveling using Glitchtrap only creates a purple haze instead of a red one, with all the teleporting negative effects. But his Phantom Freddy replacement is genuinely cool, being a purple 404 error bunny. Really neat. So now we move on to the Spring Locks category. I won't be able to show all of the content of the Spring Locks, not because it's gruesome or offensive or anything, I literally just don't have the footage for it, but we'll get to that bridge when we cross it. Starting with Fredbear, he's pretty much the same as Withered Golden Freddy from UCN, a teleport ability while being able to still walk. Spring Bonnie has this power where he just does this Dio time freeze thing. That's about it. Next are the two classics. Classic Fredbear is similar, having a teleporting ability, except you can actually control it. It's this click to teleport thing, which has a limited range, but actual control. Classic Spring Bonnie gets tricky. Classic Spring Bonnie normally just has this power where you turn into Springtrap, but there is an alternative skin, but this skin is gained through a mini-game that I unfortunately did not record. You have to give 22 kids cupcakes to stop them from being annoying. It's a decent mini-game, but I did think that it was janky movement and hitboxes, and it was a little difficult. And I don't think I actually got all 22, I think I got like 20 or 21, but still gave me the skin. This gives you the ability for the alt skin for Spring Bonnie, which was called the alt Spring Bonnie skin. Very creative. I think its power might be broken, but the only difference I saw was this dumb fog on the screen was 3 times worse. For this category, I'm very torn. It's not the worst, but it could have been better. I don't like that for Fredbear and Spring Bonnie they just use the FNAF 1 layout, but I do like that the classic versions actually have a unique and interesting map. I also ragged on the minigame, but it was a cool idea and I did enjoy it. And its map was good as well. Moving on from the old, we're in with the interesting. Halloween, my favorite holiday. It must be done justice and have some actually good mechanics. So please game, please just don't disappoint. And the first one's already broken, of course it is. Yeah, so Jack O'Bonnie is broken. Oh, kinda. His ability turns him into SCP-018, where he's an ever-bouncing broken ball. And if you use that power on the door, he just shoots straight off the map. I don't even know what this ability is supposed to be. I like his design, though. Jack and Chica is surprisingly good in comparison. Their ability is that they throw a pumpkin and can control it. If you chuck it at the guard door, you can actually destroy it. Grim Foxy, honestly, I don't even know what the hell he does. I just know it isn't fun, so I gave up. For some reason, you have to charge his power manually by holding Z, and it goes down when you don't, so you have to move around with one finger holding Z constantly, and you're always getting sent backwards by the guard's office with some weird camera flash sound, and then you just get sent back to the start. It sucks, I hate it. Goodbye. Cool design though, I really liked it. Next is Dreadbear, who I'm very split on. I hate the guard mechanic, but I love Dreadbears. Dreadbear can grow really big and leave craters whenever he steps, but the guard just flashbangs the screen and then you get sent backwards. It's not like you get back super far and it's unattainable, but it's a little annoying and kind of boring for this cool power-up idea, which is disappointed, but expected. Nightmare Mangle is an interesting case since you're in the FNAF 4 map instead of the FNAF 1 maps like the previous few. Mangle's ability seems pretty useless. They just blare static noise and their hitbox constantly gets stuck on the door, which sent me back a couple times. Felt like it wasn't thought out, not very fun. Nightmarion is just taller Nightmare, moving on. Nightmare Baby is just plush traps minigame, not fun, go away. I'm just sad now. Halloween characters could have had so much potential, but all we got is reskins, lame mechanics, and some are even broken. Now that I think about it, that's just the normal Halloween characters. Whatever, man. Now we're on to the joy of creation. No. These characters are ridiculously expensive, and they're just the same mechanics from the developer's 2D recreation of the joy of creation. 100%ing this would just be boring. But I did it regardless. Ignited Freddy just has you chasing this ghost player to kill them to stop them from collecting stuff. Ignited Foxy is the same, but 10 times worse. He constantly gets frozen and his ping-ponging movement is just awful and it sucks and I hate it. The map is cool, but it's just reused from the previous game as most of these assets are, and it's not fun. For Foxy at least. Literally all of the other videos on this game series, I can't find someone, at least in English, who has unlocked all of the TGOC characters. Literally, I found this guy named Springforce Games. He got a majority of the Joy of Creation characters. Yet, even this guy's video, I don't yet know what the creation does, because he's 2,000 gray coins. Well, that was until I bought him. With all the recording and retesting to write about the characters, I was able to get enough coins to actually buy and test the creation, and all of the other TGOC characters I didn't buy before. He has a unique design, a sprint ability, and an ability that brightens the map for a few seconds. Also one that seems to randomly move him in a little bit. Ignited Bonnie is in a small map and moves really slowly, so he's a bit annoying to maneuver. His power just kind of moves him forward in a specific direction, getting him kind of stuck easily. Ignited Chica is the opposite, being on a giant map and being really annoying since I couldn't even find the kid on the map. And I think that if you get close to the notes, it just closed the game on yourself. So yeah, that sucks. Their characters are ridiculously priced and annoying to get, and their mechanics are meh, with cool pixel art from their other Reborn game. Yeah, Editor Moosh here, sorry for interrupting, but I neglected to mention one last character in the Joy of Creation character roster, which is actually Ignited Springtrap. honestly makes sense because he's pretty forgettable. He just kind of uses the FNAF 3 map, and it's pretty much just playing like Springtrap over again, except you have someone else to chase. Not very entertaining, definitely not worth how much effort it went to go through. Anyway, back to the regular script. Whatever. I need a palate cleanser. Fine, you should do. Those Nights at Rachel's is our next category, another fan game series like The Joy of Creation, but hopefully less broken. I also don't know if it's just my copy of the game, but I'm not reviewing Ray the Raccoon, because for some reason he's just broken. Why? I don't know, I just can't play as him. Starting out with Rachel, I mean, she's pretty much just got Bonnie's power up, being able to lower her awareness. Also, the guard is unique in this map. He's not sitting still, but he actually moves around in the office. A really cool and unique idea that for some reason is not in the FNAF 4 map. Why didn't they have the kid running around between the doors in FNAF 4? That would have made that map far more interesting instead of some kid with telekinesis shutting the doors on me. Whatever. Next we have Doug the dog. All he does is bark. Effectively the Chica of Those Nights at Rachel's. Well, if not for Pete, who is the worst character in Those Nights at Rachel's, because he has 3 abilities. All of them just make different annoying pig noises. Any benefit? Nope, it sucks. The next character is actually much better. Big the Bull is a slow character, but his power gives him the ability to charge up through the door to get to the guard. Pretty good. Now Ray the Raccoon? I don't know, he's broken in my version. Could be a patch issue. He works according to some videos, but for me, drains my money from my account, but he doesn't unlock, so boo-hoo, you don't get reviewed. I think the map and skins are all well done art-wise, and some of the mechanics are good, but ignoring the bug about Ray, Rachel, and the pig are just not interesting. Yeah, haha, funny, some characters are bad on purpose. I'm fine with that for the Chicas, but doing it here just makes it boring, annoying, and kind of like a punch to the player that you did so much work to unlock these characters and they do nothing. It was funny the first 2 times, but the joke's gotten old. I don't think it stopped here either. Now we're on to one of the next big fan games, Five Nights at Candy's. The first one is Candy the Cat, who has a similar power to Freddy by draining power. Also, there's a really funny bug that's specific to Candy in this map. As bad as the collision boxes are, characters like Candy in the right hall of the security room will shift between a really small version of their sprite and their normal sprite. Kind of funny. Cindy has a time reversing ability, but other than that, same as Candy. I couldn't actually tell what Blank's power did, since when I tried to test it, it took until 4 AM, wouldn't proc, and then after I died it was 5 AM. It wasted itself, and nothing changed. So I don't have much of a clue. Then there is Old Candy, who has such a cool mechanic, but it just sucks. So Old Candy in the Five Nights at Candy's game has a feature where their eyes don't light up because they're an old model. So it makes sense that the map would be darker for them. So the map is pitch black and your only power is to make the map slightly brighter so you can see where you're going. But 2 things make this less fun. 1, how it takes quite a while for your ability to charge, and 2, you can't move through the camera freeze. Other animatronics could, and this one is really low tech, so why does it get stunned by the camera? Especially when it has a mechanic that relies on your movement and limited to 0 vision. Whatever. Chester has no ability. Next. The Rat is the last on our list, and I can't decide if he's infuriating to play as or a good character. For some reason, the camera of the screen is smaller and more centralized, but it doesn't move from side to side when he goes to different sides, so it doesn't follow you like normal, or at least not the same as normal. So it kind of breaks if you go to the side too far. But the Rat also has 4 abilities, 1 to randomize your speed, 1 to randomize the time, and 2 others that teleport you to either side of the door of the security office. I like this map design-wise. The size bug is kind of funny, and most of the characters are either balanced or propose interesting ideas that I think should be improved upon. This one is a solid base that could be improved though. I kind of like it. But now we're up for the sequel, which I am not as thrilled for. Now we have Five Nights at Candy's 2. Withered Candy's ability takes forever, but it's just a speed up. I think Withered Cindy's knocks the guard off their tablet for a bit, but it does nothing and is barely noticeable. Withered Blank has an ability where he cancels the phone call. Oh, crap. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, this map has that stupid teleport feature where the guard can just teleport you randomly across the map. Their flashlight also covers the huge main hall and can freeze you in place. I mean, yeah, it's more balanced in this map, but Blank's power feels useless because when I used it to stop from getting teleported, I can't even tell if it was just broken or the call timer made it so the guard could just call a second time, and it didn't cancel that one. whatever, man. The rat and the cat are pretty similar. The rat has the ability to teleport in front of the guard, while both have the ability to change time randomly, and also have this red X over a white line. But I couldn't see a noticeable effect or change when using it. Possibly limiting the guard's calls or flashlight charge? Regardless, meh. The map is boring, pretty accurate, not the developer's fault, but the boring mechanics and teleportation is just not the most fun. I will say that the teleportation in this map is far more balanced feeling than the others, but regardless, not a feature I enjoy, but I understand its inclusion. Now we have Five Nights at Candy's 3. You can already imagine my enthusiasm. Okay, don't worry. Soon we're going to get into an actually good category. Just need to stick this one out. The monster rat and cat both have an ability that stops the cassette, but I really didn't notice any meaningful change, so it doesn't really matter. Monster Viddy, on the other hand, has a time charge ability and has one that can make him phase through walls. Not very helpful when the hitbox to kill the target is super finicky, and I can't even tell what or where it is. You're supposed to outplay the AI when you get caught in their light, but it's unpredictable and you're fighting RNG, so yeah, not the most fun. I know it's possible to win, because I have, but it's irritating and not rewarding. I will say that the map is decently nice and the pixel art is good. It's a nice, small, cute map. The mechanic is a solid mimic of the actual game, but the wandering flashlight that goes to stop you is really annoying, and how fast its hitbox moves. But with that category over, I promise greener pastures, or rather more fun characters. Next is One Night at Flumpty's, baby! Yep, this is actually a really fun one. So, I hope, as we all know, One Night at Flumpty's is a great fan series, ignore the background drama of the creator, but the characters in this game are really fun to play as. Flumpty himself has a really neat twist on the Freddy Drain power ability, by slowly draining it into decimals and having this little egg sizzle sound play. Ooh, I love it. Birthday Boy Blam has a little firework effect that goes off and plays the Minecraft fireworks sound effect. It kinda just lowers his awareness. Redmond starts in his lava area and you go up to the guard station with these yellow boxes, using your Z ability. I think it makes the doors go down, but it's hard to tell what it actually does. The beaver's like Foxy, if Foxy were actually good. In this game, at least. The beaver doesn't get stopped by the cameras. He doesn't have another ability, but he's quick, so he's kinda fun to play as. It's ironic that Grunkfuss the Crown is both the coolest and least interesting one here. He moves incredibly slow, and when his ability goes off, he teleports into the office and kills the guard pretty much instantly. His design is cool, though. Golden Flumpty has a really nice design, too. Of course, he has no ability to move, but he has this teleport ability that's similar to the one we've seen previously, where you can use the mouse to teleport short distances. It's limited, but feels balanced. And it also doesn't feel irritating since the map is so small. And speaking of the map, oh god, is it lovely. It's accurate, it's small, and it's nice. It doesn't feel too cramped, and the hitboxes don't feel ridiculous. Arguably the best category yet, if not entirely. Next is going to be a fun one. Hoaxes. This section is made up entirely of popular hoax characters made from the community. First up is Withered Toy Freddy. This one actually has a nice design and unique jump scare, but I can't tell if his power-up is broken or works correctly. It charges fast, and Withered Toy Freddy moves decently fast with a quick acceleration rate. Withered Toy Chica is similar, a bit slower, but her ability makes it so you can play as her Endo, who is much faster. Withered Toy Bonnie, however, is just broken beyond belief. His power just phases him through the map entirely, and it's janky as hell, as per usual. The next one is less broken though. Sparky the Dog, one of the first and most infamous hoaxes. He has an ability to sprint where he turns mad. He's relatively slow without it, but he's okay. Golden Toy Freddy is next, and he's a mix between regular Golden Freddy and Golden Flumpty. He has a random teleport and the click teleport ability. The Purple Man Apparition, which I can't tell if that's a reference to the Purple Guy animatronic hoax or the Wario Apparition, is pretty much the exact same mechanically as Golden Toy Freddy. Shadow BB has a stupid power that doesn't seem to have much use. He just clones himself and shoots off his clone to bounce off the walls. He's relatively slow, but not impossible. Nightmare JJ, however, oh my god, it's just another plush trap riff-off. It sucks, I hate it, go away. I am a little disappointed considering that almost all of these characters are just the FNAF 2 location that's just retouched with some decay. I mean, it's not too bad, but nah. Environmentally, I think it's kinda one of the weakest. Not much change, but it is kinda interesting. The Super FNAF crew has gotta be a reference to something. To what? I actually don't know. I think it's a 16-bit pixel art instead of an 8-bit, but I'm not necessarily certain. I could be very, very wrong. They're just reskins, so not like there's anything specifically new to talk about. The environment retouch looks really nice though. I really like the guard room. But lastly, we have the special category. This category is full of unique and very out of left field references. The first is a YouTuber named Neptune, who is a custom animatronic character with actually a pretty neat design. He has an invisibility power and a sprint ability. His ex also yells some phrase in Russian, I believe, and it's pretty funny. I don't usually mention the random noises they make, but yeah, here it is. Next is... okay, screw you. Illumitim, whatever your name is. Why is it so difficult to say? He's just a puppet reskin with sprint ability and a time change ability. And now, thinking back on it, why wasn't there a puppet in either UCN or like FNAF 2 or even just FNAF Simulator? What? Why wasn't there any puppet? Doesn't really make sense in my opinion, but whatever. Even though we have the sprite for it right here, I don't know, it's just stupid to me. And then we have, okay, yeah, I should have expected this. Of course, Sans is a character in this. It just plays the Sans boss fight theme, and he has the teleport ability time change, which really disappointed that the special characters don't have unique maps, but whatever, they're still fun. Well, we'll get to the exception. Next is the Among Us reference. Yep, there's that. No real ability, just that you have to press the kill button when you get to the camera's office. Then there's the pea shooter that is the exact same, but you need to shoot a pea at the zombie in the security office. However, his pea can actually destroy the door, so you can get in easier. The last unique character sucks, at least in my opinion. I am not a fan of rhythm games or the Arrow Dance Dance Revolution stuff. Yeah, I suck at this. I will not say it's bad because of that. But again, it feels out of place. I still don't think I can give a true opinion on this. I don't like it personally, but I also just suck at it. But is this a good game? Well, I don't know. I think there's a lot of flaws, issues, and annoyances, but it's not the worst. I think it has potential and quite a bit of personality. The pixel art is nice, even if it's just reused from the other games. Should you play this game? The only thing you can sacrifice is your sanity and a couple 100 megabytes in your hard drive. Go for it. I have my gripes with it, but I like some of the ideas it had and really like its pixel art style. There's a lot of potential, but room for improvement. And I think it's a fun, casual game, so long as you don't try to 100% it. And just go for the characters you like. But this game has made me want to check out the original FNAF Simulator game, which I actually have recently installed. So if you guys enjoyed this one, then I hope you'll stick around long enough to see that one. I do intend to make more FNAF fan game videos, but I'm still deciding what games I want to do. Unfortunately, Fun Times at Homer's 3 is on the list, and it's unfortunately quite high. But once I can finish it, I can go into actually fun fan game series. One I would like to visit is Day Shift at Freddy's, but I don't know. Also, one thing is that a lot of FNAF fan games have series, so it would feel weird to cover a video of like Fan Game 1, then Fan Game 2, then Fan Game 3. So to me, it makes more sense to kind of play all of them in a series and then do a whole big video on them. That's actually a video idea that I've had in the works for a little bit now. There's this series, and I'm not going to spoil it yet. And I think it has, there's 2 original games, 2 remasters of those games, a 3rd game, and then like 2 meme games. I played the 2 meme games, and I'm playing one of the other ones. I don't think I'm going to play the original versions. I think I'm just going to play the remastered ones just because, I don't know, I feel like doing the original ones would just take super long and make it unfun for me. So if I ever check out I don't know, we'll leave it to that time. Anyway, my last message to those of you still watching, which I have mentioned before, I want to stream more and intend to stream more games and turn them into videos, like the Indigo Parallel, which I don't know if it'll come out after or before this video, but I'm doing a highlight reel for that, so stay tuned. I also said previously that Fallout New Vegas will be maybe one of the other games. That game is likely taken off the list now because of how prone it is to crash on stream, and then crash the OBS, and then crash the stream itself. Not a fun time for anyone involved, especially me. But I do intend to do a bunch of other games, which I hope will be fun for all of us. Anyway, that's enough blathering for me. You can go check out the previous streams. It's been me, Moosh. Comments, criticism, and suggestions are always welcome. And I hope to see you later. Arrivederci.